And from KIPS Technical College, we have Boniface Crisanto with us this morning to have this conversation with us. How are you, Boniface?
Thank you so much. I'm good.
Yes.
And you?
I am fantastic, and thank you for asking.
Thank
We're talking about, skills versus theory, and we've seen so many universities or colleges zenye zinapatia watu tu theory and you're sent into the world. But that is different with KIPS especially. But just before we get into that, let us know what it is that you do at KIPS, title, department, and all of that.
To start with, like you said, my name is Boniface Crisanto. I'm an engineer by profession, electrical engineer from Technical University of Kenya.
Yes.
I'm a manager in one of the campuses of KIPS Technical College here in town.
Okay.
At KIPS, we have 5 campuses, 3 in town and 2 in the outskirts of Nairobi. So the campus I'm heading is actually in training engineering courses, development and applied sciences courses.
Okay.
So at KIPS College, like especially in a technical field, we emphasize so much on practicals because at the end of the day, we know out in the market out there, we really need people with the right skills.
Yes, it's not all about theory.
It's not all about theory. And you understand that actually in the university, there is so much knowledge that you acquire rather than skills. Because we know knowledge is about the theoretical understanding of something through the lectures and the books that you gain. So in the university, you'll get that much of the work you do is research and actually theory. But at KIPS and because we are training, technical courses,
Yes.
we emphasize so much on practicals, like 3 days in a week we have practicals. It is purely practical-oriented courses that we take.
Okay.
We have courses like NITA programs, which are 90% practical. So a student actually, every day they come in, they have to be taken through the practical aspects.
Boniface, would you then agree that most of the students that are sent out to the job market from these universities, the one thing they struggle with is, having the practical skills of it. So you have theory, but then the job market requires so much more than that. Unapata watu wengi wako nje wakitafuta makazi, but it's because they were not they did not acquire or were not given the practical skills in school.
Yes, I totally agree with you because by the time you leave from a campus, in most cases you have knowledge. There's a difference between knowledge and skills. You might be knowing that if, for example, you are a mechanic, you might understand that if a vehicle has developed some problem, you are supposed to do A, B, C, D. But how to do that thing is actually what we emphasize in when we are doing skill-based training. You could be having that knowledge, but the skill on how to go about it and to execute it is actually the problem, which now is currently being solved by the TVETA, the CDAC programs, whereby now a student every day goes to class, you take them through a given aspect, you take a photo and you upload. Apart from what is actually happening in the universities, whereby you are taken through classes, you are given a lot of assignments, you're supposed to research, and like you're into books.
Yes.
But I appreciate some universities are doing some good job. I wouldn't say like
all
they
of
are.
them.
I wouldn't really say they are doing a bad job.
Yes.
There are universities who have gone out of their way and they are emphasizing in practicals. They have got good facilities. Like where I schooled, the Technical University of Kenya, have got the very good facilities.
Okay.
But you see now with the numbers, most universities are being overwhelmed by the number of students are joining to these universities. They could be having facilities, but now the kind of numbers they receive are so much.
Yes.
To utilize these facilities, the time they are in touch with these facilities is all limited.
Yeah.
But in the other field, in the technical colleges, you'll find a student has got so much time in the workshop, to do the practice and like that. You're able to learn these skills.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you think the CBC is here to help remedy that situation from an earlier age when it comes to, the studies?
It does, actually. It's going to assist this country to move a step ahead because, with CPC, you are supposed to do practicals from day one. But previously what we have been witnessing is you'll be exposed to the practical world when you have gone for an attachment.
Yes.
But now
yes.
we have started this attachment from the word go. From the word go. A student comes in, you are given practicals, you are exposed to the real world. So that even when you step outside the campus or the college, you're actually supposed to go directly and fit into the job market. You do not need like an additional training, such program, so that now you are brought up to speed. You are able to drive yourself because you have gained the right skills in the market, and that is what the employers are looking for.
Great. And having put that out, that is what the employers are looking out for, and that is what they need. Do you think probably the Ministry of Education has done much in terms of helping with this, or is it just the TVET program that is out there helping to get students receive the skills that they need for the job market?
I appreciate the ministry has done some reasonable work, because we have the NITA programs which are supporting actually placing people in various institutions, various companies for attachment. If you need an attachment, you go to NITA, you will be booked for an attachment. Of course, they will look for you an attachment and send you there. But the numbers are still limited, because they do not have enough connections to take all the students.
Yeah. Is that where we're seeing most of them in town? Like we'll see with placards asking for work, because I mean we have so many students in university, but then having them being absorbed into the job market has become a problem. Why is that?
I think the Ministry of Education together with the government needs to move very fast and actually convince the companies. If you are a company set up, you must take at least 1 or 2 attachees, so that we are now, because if you go to an interview, you will be asked what kind of experience do you have.
Yeah.
Every advert reads that 3 years experience. But from where?
I'm straight from college.
Yes.
I probably had 3 months of internship, 6 months at most, not a complete year. So is it some of the things that need to be changed, or does it matter if I had a lot of experience when it comes to practical skills in school? Should that count for something when we're trying to get into the job market?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the government, together with the Ministry of Education, needs to convince or come up with policies, even through the government, through Parliament, so that now we are able to have companies actually put to task that you must be giving students attachment on a compulsory basis.
Yeah.
That for example, after 3 months, you need to take a given number of students for attachment. It is through that program we are able to nurture these skills. Remember, a skill is not something that you can go to class and then close yourself somewhere and learn. You need to interact with these facilities. You need to interact with people who have these skills so that they can impart those skills. I appreciate that in the classroom setup, we do not have enough actually to equip the students the right skills. They have to be exposed to the real world situation, so that they are able now to do what? To understand these things.
And we just say at KIPS Technical College, that is one of the things that are taken seriously when it comes to making sure that your students, before they get into the world, into the job market, they are well equipped, and what are some of the things that KIPS inafanya to make sure that that happens?
Sure. As an institution, we emphasize so much on practicals. The directors, the principal, and the entire management is so much interested in buying the facilities. There is no day we have requisited for facilities that are meant for training and we have been denied. In fact, we have adequate facility, and that is where we are saying, if you are out there and you need the right skills in engineering, in hospitality, in high city programs, Technical College is your sure path to success.
You know, I say that line a lot. I say that line a lot in here. But then, away from just engineering, all the other departments, are they also taken care of in that way? Say I'm in HR, or I want to get into the hospitality scene. Is that provision still available for them in terms of getting their practical skills?
It is, in fact, because the management is one and it serves all the departments. Any department that does requisition for any practical items, those things are availed immediately. And that is why at KIPS we have a department, an attachment liaison officer, who is actually going through the companies to get vacancies for our students.
Oh, wow.
So we are able to place our own students to these companies. So our students directly through that office. Our students do not need to go around the town looking for attachment.
With the brown envelopes. That is not happening.
Yeah, sure.
So this office helps you place your students specifically. So if I'm a HR student,
Yeah.
they know exactly where to take for me. They will tarmac on my behalf.
Yeah.
Does this happen after I'm done with school, or does it happen even when I'm in school, knowing that once I leave, this is where I am going?
Well, it depends. Once you are done with your certificate program, you see you are supposed to go for an attachment period. Then if you are now completely, you do not want to come back, you can be organized for an internship program through the same office. But if you want now to come back for a diploma, and then of course you have to run through your diploma for the 2 years. Later on, you go for another attachment.
Yes.
Thereafter, if you still are interested, we can still get you an internship program. That is why I've told you that attachment liaison office has been empowered to go around. His work is just to go from company X, Y, Z to convince the HR of those companies that they be taking our students. And we have quite a couple of companies in town which are actually taking our students. By a phone call, we're able to place a student there.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Does it matter the what is called the grades that the students have? Does it matter how they perform? Is it in that sort of like criteria that you use to know who goes where, or what is it that you use to make sure that all the students or most of the students are placed into companies?
Well, you see, these companies are different companies have different ways of operations, and there are those companies which are more preferred by the students than the other. So those companies which are more preferred, of course, we now bring in the criteria.
Okay.
Who has done well, because we also want to send the right people to the
right places,
to the right place
where
so
they belong.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Is the intake still ongoing? Is it over? What's happening right now for everybody who's now listening in and they're like, alafu satunenda ku apply wapi? What are the campuses? Where are they at? How can they be a part of Cape Technical College?
In fact, our semester begins today.
Oh,
Today.
Okay.
The intake is ongoing.
Oh, the intake is ongoing.
Yeah.
So, okay. How can people be a part of that? Trying to get into or finding out what is happening or what courses are offered at Cape Technical College?
You can get to our website. If still you are around town, you can go to any campuses. We have a campus at Philadelphia, opposite Afia Center. We have another one at Afia Center. We have another campus here at Haile Selassie Avenue. That is KPCU campus. We have another campus at Koja Stage, opposite fire station. We have other campuses at Thika Road. That is Zimmerman. There's a campus there. We have another campus at Donholm. We call it Greenspan campus. So if you happen to come from around town and you are near those centers, you can move there and you will be admitted. Absolutely. But if you are far,
yes,
you can go to the website, get a number there, and of course you are able to call and you'll be admitted. You'll be assisted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
What would be your parting shot for, students who are still in school, who are striving to work hard, engineering students who want to be like Teacher Wow? What would be your word of advice? And this is your camera.
My advice is let us work very hard. If you are in school, utilize that opportunity you have gotten. Ensure you gain as much skills as possible, because the world out there actually requires you to have skills. Like I've stated, there is no employer who has time to go back to the drawing board to start training you from A, B, C, D. You need to get these skills. When you're out there, you are just absorbed directly and you start working. So that is what I can say.
Yeah. For telling us or enlightening us on what is happening in the school setup, especially Cape's Technical College, and what the students need to be absorbed into the job market. That is all we had for you for this particular conversation. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full Circle with Mikali.